Actually, there was an incident when I was graduating in IIT Delhi. There was an incident that a professor of mine said, "Where have you done your schooling?" I said, "Some parts of Rajasthan and then 11th and 12th in Kota." He said, "Your fundamentals are not strong." Why? Because whatever you are saying is just you are trained. You do not know what is the actually practical experiential aspect of it. So something, that incident hurt me a lot at that time, and we were discussing these stories with so many of my friends. So I found out, I met with other of my friends in IIT Delhi who have been some government school, some Sainik school. They said there is always when you remember school days, you remember one or two teacher. I just remember some teacher who used to bring a globe in my class, or one mathematics teacher who once came up with all the instruments. So I thought, why not we can replicate some methodology which is practical aspect. When whatever you are learning in theory, you can do that. So something, this idea came up within our mind, and one of my friend who was doing an MBA in Excel, he was doing similar kind of research in education. So we all grouped up and we started doing this. In the final year only, we met professors like S.C. Verma, who was a father of like whatever is the India is doing in physics. Everyone reads his books. Some other professors in IIT. So we started this thing in the final year. We thought that we can do this in schools, and a school actually needed it. So in regular teachings, yeah, and when you see in a school, there is a lecture, a teacher came to your class, and he or she just tell you that what is Newton's law. For example, it's physics, Newton's law, what is this? So there is a one-way learning. When a teacher come and tell you that whatever is something, they tell you the definition, they give you some homework and something like that. So there is a practical aspect missing, there is a tutorial aspect missing. In graduation, in most of the colleges, engineering or medical colleges, there is an LPT methodology, which is lecture, practical and tutorials. So these practical aspects we are nurturing in the school. Like we are equipping the teachers with some tools, like these tools. And when they go for a lecture, we say that you can use these tools in your regular classroom. When you are drawing some things, when you are creating the diagrams, it takes a lot of time and everyone cannot visualize it. Even one or two who are the very brilliant students will visualize these things. So we are equipping the teachers, which is helping them to make the typical aspect of science and mathematics understand by the students, and we are filling that gap of practical aspect missing in the schools, so that whenever they are going to the college, either in science or any other streams, they actually know what is they are learning, how they can implement it. This value we are trying to add in the schools. For example, in the class 9th, we see this is a model. We explain a teacher that we transform this methodology to a teacher, that how you can use this model. So like there is a concept of Newton's law. So they say that the third law is action and reaction. So what you see is that if you raise this ball, what will happen? So we simply ask a teacher that you can tell your classroom that what will happen. The most of the students think that I push this ball and all balls will move somewhere in here. So we say that you do this. This amazes the student, like why? All three balls are not affected by this. Then I say what will happen when you do it with the two balls. So now two balls are moving. So I doubled up the mass. So Newton also thought in the similar direction, but what is the difference? The difference is that we are taught, we are not supposed to think, and they thought actually. So now when we interacted with the 4th and 5th class student in some events, and we asked that what we will do with the three balls. So they simply think that there should be now the three balls should move, and actually they are moving three balls. So something we have to develop the curiosity. A major aspect when we discuss with the teacher is that you show these models, you create an ambience in the classroom that students get attracted to learn whatever they are actually taught. And when they are attracted, they will start thinking, and you just need to trigger that. You do not have to coach them, you just need to trigger the concept, you need to trigger the thinking of the student, and then everything is on your own. And then it comes to the momentum conservation. You can see what is the difference between this rigid body or any solid body. So definitions which we generally mug up are not just the definitions, they have been developed through a methodology. That methodology, if we show to the student, they have more faith in the teacher, they have more faith in the education system. So something like these models, we have 110 models, and we equip with the teachers, and we say that we are a teachers company. and we believe that there are enough number of teachers, enough number of schools, students, but there is something which we can equip them, we can build, increase their effectiveness, we can increase their efficiency when we can use the high level of technology and the products like this. We believe that there should not be any online aspect in the classroom. So we believe that the true learning comes when it is being experienced. Something, whatever you experience, that brings up the true learning. We have a 5D approach, like you see it, touch it, feel it, understand and perform yourself. So there is one aspect that we cannot do the videos or something like smart class, something in the classroom. But what we believe is that you use the typical traditional methodology of the teaching in the classroom, but you can use the technology outside the classroom. So we developed an assessment platform with a similar level of content, with the simulations, 3D simulations for the assessments. Now what we do is that right now we have like 100 schools in our reach, which is in most of the Rajasthan and NCR region. Now to scale to the other states, other parts of the India or the world, what we are doing is that we have built an assessment platform, which is of course for free for the teachers, for the students. They can do so many kind of problems, they can get the adaptive solutions out of it, and when they realize the USP of content of this region, so they realize that there is some value in these tools, there is some value. If I am doing something like this on the simulations, why not I have the physical model in my schools? Then schools directly came to you. So for a trial, we released a video of what we do in a school, and we released in a multiple schools, all the parts of the India, and we started getting queries from Bengal, from Bengaluru, from Maharashtra. We got so many queries. Though there are operations limitations, we were trying out, we were testing out in Rajasthan, but we believe that when we can spread these things for marketing, for assessment, for content, you can always have the technology outside the classroom. But there we believe that there is a need of teacher, there is a need of student to sit together and to discuss. Actually, you want entrepreneurship, you want to do business from core of your heart, or you are getting attracted towards it just for the glamour, just for the seeing that top entrepreneurs are in the media. So if you see that you are passionate to do work, to do the business from your heart, obviously you should choose entrepreneurship. These are the early days of your life, you can take always risk. Then after 25 or after marriage, you will not be that much ready to take such risk. And never think of making it late. Do start in your college only, do start as early you can do that. And when you realize that there is some value, you can obviously do that. And there are so many incubations, so many investors, that everyone around the ecosystem is so much supporting these days. Like anyone who is doing something good, anyone something, just not just the copying up with what others are doing. If you have some great idea and you believe in that, so there will be people like there are investors or other people, mentors. There are so many mentors in India, and they always try to figure you out. They will say that this is a rubbish idea, this is not going to work out. But when you are starting up, you should have a clear mindset that if you are in a field that you have this product and I have to sell it, you will have to defend it anyway, and you should have a particular faith in what you are doing. So pivoting is helpful only in the case that you are with the same vision. But so much of pivoting you do and you just think that I want to do the startup and changing my product all the time might not be something what you are willing from core of your heart. So it's not like the doing job is not good or creating job is always better. Both the things are better, but you should ask yourself that what you are and what you want to do. I've been studying about something like Brainbuxa, and what I realize is that in a student or anyone who is an elder or a student, so what impact maximum is that whatever they are seeing in the media. So there is no such platform specially dedicated for the students. Even you see a very minimum part of a student life in any media platform, any newspaper or anything like that. So you do not have a common platform where you get the useful information, useful details, some iconic people, iconic companies, you do not get them, and there is very unorganized sector. So if Brainbuxa is working specifically and they have their aim, like they will be doing it in an education market, either schools or the colleges, there is some help for the parents as well, that they can allow their students to use such particular portal, because there is a always that online content what they should see. So now a student can see the useful information about jobs, useful information about the assessments, good content, good companies. Schools can see what is the best technologies happening in the world, and they can be associated through the Brainbuxa. For the parents, they are helpful because they are very much like worried about the counseling part of the students. So for everyone, I see all the stakeholders, parents, schools, students, education companies, there is a common platform, Brainbuxa, and which can be helpful in such unorganized sector to make a bit more organized. So I wish best wishes for the Brainbuxa, and thank you for that.